Hi, it's Brenmurphy here. Just talking about black and white thinking this morning. I was on a run and I was talking with another runner, and he was talking about, at Easter everyone's eating chocolate, and he said once you have that first little Easter egg in the morning, that's it for the day. You're sort of on a bad health day. And I thought, well, that's fair enough, but it's actually not true, because that is an example of black and white thinking. And black and white thinking is the idea of once something happens, or once something's set in motion, that you have no control over it, and the path and it's the destiny, or it just unfolds. And it's a real victim mentality where you can be just tossed along by outside events, or external circumstances can dictate how you approach your day, your week, your life, or whatever. And another example of that is when you wake up and you hear other people say, oh, I'm having a bad day today. And they can say that like at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they just let that follow out for the rest of the day. So that's a big point of being able to reset and realign and go, well, I may have had a bad start to the morning, or I may have had chocolate at 8 AM over the Easter weekend, but that doesn't mean I'm sort of a write-off for the rest of the day and I'm going to just let things go and keep spiraling out of control. You can stop, reassess, realign, and refocus and retarget midway. Okay, so that's the lesson, or the piece of advice there is, once things are in motion, or once the race is underway, it doesn't mean you can be coming last at the beginning of the race, but you can still recover and come second or third or first, or win the race. So it's your mindset as things unfold isn't, oh, that's it. To keep an eye out for a trigger or an episode or an instance or something happening, and then go, oh, well, it's over now, it's done, and sort of resign yourself that an outside event has determined the outcome, because that's not true. So that was the first part of my experience this morning on my run. So I had a big run. I was about 11 kilometers, and I ran along the rocks at the beach, and the surf's really big at the moment, and I got caught on the rocks, and the waves came in, and they're usually about that deep, like where I go along the path. It's damp with water, but today the actual water was like knee deep, so I actually got wet on my feet, and that's only about 5 kilometers in, so I still had more than another 5 or 6 kilometers to run. And using black and white thinking, that would be enough of a trigger previously for me to say, oh, well, I won't persist, I won't keep going, I'll just sort of call it quits and I'll just make it a short run today. But instead I went, no, well, resilience or bouncing back, I'm not accepting. Black and white thinking means I'll keep going and just experience the run with wet shoes and wet socks. And it will be different, it won't be ideal, but it will be a new experience, and I'm curious and interested in new experiences, so why not sort of embrace that? So taking that as one part of it, the next part was the idea of the growth mindset, and not being limited by what your experiences are, and letting previous experiences of things going wrong, or oh well, the day's over, or well, it's a bad start, or I'm having a bad day, I'm having a bad hair day. It's that awareness of knowing that if something may knock you off course early in the day, or early along your path, or your career path, or wherever you're on your journey, but you don't let it sort of knock you out for the whole race, or the whole game, or for your whole life. You can recover, you can bounce back. We are resilient, and it's our response that is more important than what happens to us. So we may get our shoes wet on the run, but our response to that is, oh well, I'm curious, I'm interested, I'll see how I go with wet shoes, instead of going, well, that's it, stuff that I'm not going to try running with wet shoes, I'll get blisters. Okay, so your response is more important than the actual events that happen to you. Okay, thanks a lot. It's Brenmurphy. You can find out more at thelifecoach.net.au. Thanks a lot.